next speaker, Bernice, and I met her at the Canadian Stuttering Association conference a couple years ago, where she and her whole band traveled from Toronto to the conference site. They all did it self-funded, just to play some of her music for us. It was amazing to see her band support her like that. So I knew she was a special person because people just don't do stuff like that. And I have uh, come to know her since the conference, and she is a very special person. So thank you for being here with us today, and we are excited for your presentation.
Thank you so much, Tom, for the presentation. Really appreciate it. So yes, we did. So my band and I traveled from Montreal to Ottawa to give a special performance for the Canadian Stuttering Association, and I'm really happy that you've enjoyed it, and the the audience as well. So thank you again for the invitation. Truly appreciate it. So my name is Berenice Mengo. I live in Montreal, Canada. I'm a person who stutters, and I have been I have been navigating, in the professional world with my stutter, um, with the with some challenges. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So I am a public servant at the federal government of Canada. I first started at the call center, actually. So you might be wondering how in the world, a person who stutters can actually, end up, working in the contact center, giving that I hate, speaking on the phone, especially for long hours every day. So, so if I recall my colleagues who don't stutter, comments, um, they 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 don't really appreciate being on the phone all day as well. So imagine, so I know that you can definitely imagine how difficult that was for me. But since I actually I actually held that position for 2 years, which means that I did not so bad, I guess. So, and I was speaking in both English and French because I'm more French. So, and so speaking in several languages as this person who stutters is even more difficult. And I've had people encouraging me, of course. So when you work, because me, I work in the tax administration of Canada, so the Canada Revenue Agency. So whenever people are calling so they are not happy, of course, with their taxes. So you have to deal with angry taxpayers every day, and but I managed to to have to hold that position for at least 2 years after before being promoted. So what I'm trying to explain here is that at first I didn't declare that I started because I wanted the job. I wanted to provide for my family, and because so since people don't really know what so they are not really aware of what stuttering is, of as you know, so they may think that we may be mentally incapacitated or whatever, those assumptions that are definitely not true. um so I didn't want those barriers to, to prevent me from landing the job at the first place. So I didn't declare because there is that, self-declaration form that you can fill out. So it's not mandatory, but it's encouraged, to give chances to people that may not be given the chances otherwise in certain circumstances, to have certain position with, so the skills are required, of course. So it's just that when you self-declare yourself as a person with a disability, for example, stuttering in many administrations is considered a disability. So when you self-declare yourself as such, so um, so you may be evaluated, differently from the others. So that I will explain a little. In a moment. So yes, I started in the contact center, and I've had a great feedback from my from the people that I was encountering over the phone, and I also had very harsh comments from people over the phone, not only because I stutter, but also because I have an accent, and because I've been and because I'm a woman, so I've been told very harsh things over the phone in the contact center, so which makes the job even more difficult. And but thankfully, I was fortunate enough to have tremendous support from my management, who understands, who was understanding towards my condition, and they actually saw that I gave results, and they were pretty happy with my job, and they were encouraging me to continue. And that's how after 2 years, and so I had a promotion as a team leader in the contact center, having agents under my management. So what I want to mention is that, before I continue, at some point I had to prove that I can speak in English. So you have to pass an English assessment, like a second language assessment. And then the first time, I was pretty sure I did well and stuff, but I failed. Why? Because one of the conditions that are required to pass that test is, to speak fluently, and not hesitate, whatever. S- so otherwise they would think that you are not comfortable in the language, you do not know the language or whatever. So, and I felt, why? Because I didn't self-declare myself as a person who stutters. So the second time I had the test, because I needed that test to be considered bilingual, and then have a higher salary, right? So I mean, have a bilingualism, a bonus. So when I registered the second time for the test, I self-declared myself then as a person with a disability, and and I declared my stutter as a disability. I joined, all the statements by the speech therapist and everything. So, and then I got interviewed in a different, so in consideration of that. And so they didn't evaluate me as, a person who doesn't stutter. They did evaluate me as a person who stutters. So, and as so right now you can hear me speak, not too so it is more fluent than what I was, where I was before. I cannot explain why. It just happened. um but it was very, very harsh, hard for me, that particular interview in English. So I was really having issues speaking at that. But then I succeeded because I was able to, prove that I can actually, have a conversation in English. So that's how I had my bilingualism bonus because I self-declared myself as a person with a disability. So I was evaluated, I had accommodations, and that actually helped me have that score that I needed to to pursue my career. So me, I would encourage everyone. I know that it is a personal decision for everyone to self-declare themselves as a person starters. I mean, to self-declare themselves as a person with a disability. I didn't think myself as a disabled person before, but when I saw that it was preventing me from, securing the job that I wanted, and that it was preventing me from having the scores that I thought I deserved. So because I was evaluated at the same, with the same consideration as people who don't stutter. So then I decided to use those tools that are available for us to, make ourselves a space, a place, in the workplace. Um, so just a quick thing as well, that before having that job in the contact center, I actually worked as a receptionist as well. So I started over the phone, but people was used to me, so they knew me and they appreciated my job. So I think you can be. Anyways, I was a person who started that was on the reception, and I had that job for more than 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I believe. Yeah. And yeah, it wasn't easy every day, but yeah, at least I had something to provide for my family. So just to encourage people over there, that whether it's a job that requires you to speak a lot or not, just go out there and be yourself, and people will get to know you. They will appreciate you for who you are, and they will give you the chance in the work, in the workplace. So don't prevent yourself from applying to certain jobs just because you started. Just go ahead and apply, and if there are tools in your area that you can use as those self-identification forms, please use them, because it can definitely make a difference. So, and the other thing that I wanted to share today is that when you do the things that you love, for example, a job that you love, you are actually investing in your well-being. And based on my experience, investing in our well-being is always beneficial for um, our fluency. It works for me. I still stutter, and so my goal in the past was, mm, you know to um, to get rid of my stutter and not stutter whatsoever. But I've come to the conclusion that I may be stuttering for the rest of my life, and that's okay. That's okay. So and my goal now is to live my best life, do the job that I want to do, and be patient with myself, and not preventing not and preventing me from expressing myself, whether I'm in a meeting. If I have a question, I would raise my hand, and I would, for example, I would actually announce my stutter prior to speaking, because people usually don't know about stuttering. So for them to be, aware of the reason why I am speaking like that. So this is also a way of, for me, of educating people, because if we don't, who who else will? So we have to be visible in the workplace. We have to speak out loud. We have to take our place. We have to raise our hands if we want to say something. Don't I was the shyest person in the room. Now I still am in a sense, but if I have something to say, I will raise my hand and say it, because I want people to know that there are people who stutter and that they still have things to say, right? So and yeah, so I announce my stutter. I self-declare myself as a person with a disability. I take on speaking and leadership roles. For example, in my workplace, there are committees for people with disabilities, for women, for stuff. So you make yourself visible, right? So I would encourage for you to be advancing in your career to network by being involved in committees, associations. You will broaden your network, and when a hiring manager will have an opportunity, they will remember you because they have had a great experience with you. So I would encourage you to go out there and be involved. And if in your workplace there are committees, be involved in those committees. That's what I did, and I had great job opportunities with with that, being visible and working to grow my network. As I say, being vocal about stuttering, educating the audiences, and also and also and also and also advocating for diversity and inclusion. So yeah, so as I was saying, so I had I was sitting on boards where the decisions are made. So we have also to be decision makers. So we have to be there where the decisions are made. If, for example, you are in the workplace and there is that hiring committee, so I would encourage people to go there and to speak for to represent the people with disabilities, so and speak for them in those committees, so that the other board members may know those realities better. So be involved, participate, create workshop on or trainings on inclusivity, participate in events, testimonies, and more. So when you give your testimony in events, it actually helps the audience to to be enlightened on the subject of stuttering. And I've had people telling me, "Oh, I'm so happy that you moderated that event. I found you so brave. You were such as this and that." So I was, and having those comments encourage me to do better. To be, comment dire, to be so okay. Those comments actually, because I lacked self-confidence before, and those comments tell me I'm worth it. I'm worthy of, these encouragements, and it actually helps my confidence and helps me be more vocal, because I see that my testimony can actually help can actually help can can act- can actually help others to to overcome their own barriers, whether it is stuttering or or any other obstacles they may face in their lives. So be out there, be visible, speak out loud, take your place, be involved in committees. Don't be shy to apply to the job of your dreams. Uh, just make yourself known so that people get to know you, not so that people get to know you because of who you are, because of your skills, and they will uh, be more familiar, with stuttering that way. So yeah, so these are pretty much what I have. So the last few things that I would say before concluding, uh, the last few things that I would say as I conclude, the more I practice, the better I become. So I see speaking as a sport, as an athlete. So to become an athlete, you have to practice, your sport as much as possible. So speaking to me has become like a sport. I hated, being in the front, uh, before, and now I actually I'm actually looking forward for these opportunities to get better and better at it. So be out there and don't hold yourself back. I am no longer afraid of the phone. I choose the job that I want to do. I will always have to talk, so I might as well get out there and talk as much as I can. And that way I feel that I am expressing myself more and not holding things back inside. So yeah, so please be visible in the workplace, and if you are comfortable, fill out those forms, those self-identification forms, because it definitely can make a difference. So thank you everyone for your attention today.